What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Darren. I'm the Bowtie Fragrance Guy, fashion and fragrance guy. If you're into fashion, fragrance, smelling good and looking good, I think you found the right channel. Make sure you hit subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell icon as well. So that way, anytime I upload a new video, you'll be one of the first folks to get notified. All right, guys, I have 3 fragrances today that I want to talk about quickly. This won't be really that long of a video. 3 fragrances that have been discontinued, and that's why sometimes you have to keep your eyes open. One of the things that I do sometimes from time to time is kind of go to Fragrance Net. I go to the new arrivals and just kind of check out things that have just come in. Sometimes you will find some hidden gems and fragrances that have been discontinued that somehow Fragrance Net gets their hands on, and it gives you a chance to add them to your collection. That happened with me about a year ago with Noir Ombre. I think that's the name of it, from Issey Miyake. That amber fragrance that everybody went crazy about when it came out. Then it was discontinued, very hard to find. Was strolling on Fragrance Net one day and happened to stumble across a bottle for about 60, 70 bucks somewhere in there. And I was able to add it to my collection. And that happened again with, actually, there were 2 fragrances that, there's 3 in the collection, but there were 2 that I did not have. I was able to get a bottle of one of these from a friend. I bought it off of a friend of mine. And the other 2, I went ahead and grabbed them. So I'm gonna run the intro. When we come back, we'll get into these 3 fragrances, because I think these are 3 of the best designer fragrances that are really underrated. And they really didn't get any love until they became discontinued. So we're going to get into it when we come back. So if you want to see what I'm talking about, you know the routine, keep it locked right here. Let's get it.
The Bowtie Fragrance Guy.
All right, guys, we are back. We are back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. We're going to jump into this video. Don't forget, this week, guys, Navitus Parfums is running a Black Friday blowout sale, guys. The more you buy, the more you save. I want to make sure I link the details down in the description. Listen, you want to show my support. If you haven't supported yet and bought my fragrances, please do so during the sale. They're great fragrances. I did 5 with Navitus, but there's a lot of other great fragrances from a lot of other great fragrance reviewers, influencers, whatever you want to call them, that Navitus has done collaborations with as well. So I'm going to make sure I leave my link down below. If you guys want to check it out, make sure you head over to Navitus Parfums and check it out. All right, guys, for the fragrances that I want to talk about, and I want to make sure I link all 3 of these fragrances down below. If you want to check them out, you will have the ability to do so. All right, so I remember about 4 years ago, my wife and I had to go out of town, and I was walking through the local TJ Maxx, and I saw these fragrances in there. This is when they were on their way out to be discontinued. I didn't really know it at the time. I was always intrigued by them, and I saw, I think all 3 of them, or maybe at least 2 of them, were sitting in the store for about 70, 80 bucks, and I was like, I'll get them at a later time. That later time became never, because shortly thereafter, they became scarce, and you could not get these fragrances without paying a huge upsell, a huge markup on said fragrances. But like I said, the first one I want to talk about, and these fragrances, if you're wondering still, are from the Robert Graham collection. And he put out 3 fragrances that, seriously, and I'm not exaggerating this point, all 3 are phenomenal. All right, all 3 are phenomenal, especially if you get these as kind of like a collection, man. Listen, amazing fragrances. The first one is the one that I was able to, it's available on Fragrance Net, but I actually got this one from a friend prior to. And this one is called Valor. This is called Valor. Valor is an amber sage, primarily a coffee-based fragrance. This is so good. This is so good. I just want to give myself a, this is so good, man. Guys, I can't. I'm telling you, these three fragrances, man, and they're right now on Fragrance Net, I think they're going for between 60 to 80 bucks. 65, 72, somewhere in there. All three of these fragrances. So this particular fragrance, if you like amber and coffee, this is the one you got to put your nose on. This is a phenomenal fragrance. It has that kind of playful sweetness that I love in a fragrance. Oh, this is so good. Guys, this is so good. Seriously, I'm not exaggerating it. This is so good. I'm so glad I have these fragrances in my collection, man, because I could have gone the rest of my life without really knowing what they smell like and having a chance to get them in my collection. So don't be like me. There's a chance now. I don't know how long these are going to last, but this is so good. This is so good. If you like amber and coffee, this is kind of like a vanilla kind of ambery sweetness with that coffee note in here. You got to check this stuff out. This is my second favorite, though. This is not even my first favorite. This is not my first favorite. This is my second favorite, but this is great. If you like amber and coffee, you got to get Valor. Now, my favorite of the entire, oh my gosh, guys. This one is Fortitude. Fortitude, this is my favorite, guys. This is tonka bean, tobacco, and patchouli. Tonka bean, tobacco, two of my favorite notes. Now, amber is one of my favorite notes as well, but this has two of my favorite notes. Tonka bean and patchouli. I'm sorry, tonka bean and tobacco. I like patchouli as well. But this one, sprayers are good on these. Presentation are great on these as well. Check out these bottles, man. Let's check them out. Just really, really classy presentation. Really classy presentation. Check out the cap. Nice details. The kind of cloth. It's almost like, because he sells clothing primarily, clothing and men's accessories. So this is almost like a cloth label here with a beautiful paisley pattern. This is really good stuff, guys, for what you're going to pay. This is so good. This is my favorite. It's really about those three notes that I listed for you guys. You get that sweet tonka bean, but there's almost kind of a smoky tobacco note right there, kind of playing off of that sweet tonka bean note. This is so good. Guys, do yourself a favor. This is the perfect time of year, especially for these first two that I've talked about. These are so good. This is so good. Guys, do yourself a favor and get this stuff. This one is Fortitude. If you like tobacco, if you like tonka bean, if you like patchouli, this is the one that you have to add. Now, me personally, if you could afford it, I would add, especially these two. These are my favorite two. Now, Courage is great as well. I'm gonna talk about that one next, but especially these two, because this is the perfect time of year for these first two, Fortitude and Valor. And to me, these are my favorites. This is my favorite. Number one, I would say number two is Valor. But Courage is really good as well. So let's talk about that one. The last one, this is kind of like the gentlemanly fragrance. The other two, you get sweetness. You get a coffee fragrance. You get a tonka bean and tobacco-based fragrance. And the last one in the collection, just as classy as well, this one is called Courage. Another classy fragrance. This is bergamot, guaiac wood, and vodka. So almost kind of like a gin and tonic kind of effect with this fragrance, but this is a very gentlemanly kind of fragrance. This is kind of like the office wear, the daily wearer. And that's why when I opened up, I mentioned collection, because I really feel like this is one of those fragrance sets that was kind of released almost as a collection, where if you had all three of these, you would be set for any time, any place, anywhere. You know, you have your sweeter fragrances, and then you have your kind of everyday wearer right here with Courage. But again, just beautiful presentation. Almost looks like a leather top or cap on the bottle. Seriously, guys, this is just really I'm really impressed with these fragrances, man. And again, I would pick them up. You know, I bet you if you look on eBay and places like that, these fragrances are probably 3 times the price of what you would pay right now on FragranceNet for them. But this is just some kind of, you know, hidden gem kind of opportunity, or discontinued, of course, in this case, fragrances that have popped up. And I wanted to share them with you because I was so blown away. I always loved Valor because I had that one first. But when I got my nose on Fortitude and then Smell Courage, I just felt really compelled to talk about it. Oh, I didn't show you the cap on this one. Felt compelled to talk about them. Yeah, just really nice details. Let me show you the first one on Valor. This is just quality stuff, guys. So again, I'll make sure I link them down below. Just want to do a quick video on these 3 fragrances because who knows, once FragranceNet runs out, who knows when they'll pop up again. But I wanted to, you know, I found them, wanted to share it with you guys. But that's all I have for you today. As always, I sincerely appreciate your time and attention to these videos. I know you don't have to watch, but you do, and I sincerely appreciate that. Now, don't forget to take a few moments to like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you're sharing these videos out to some other folks out there that you think could use the information or find it entertaining. Because I'm your guy, Darren. I'm the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell amazing. So until next time, guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side.